Hey guys, what is up? It's the new sensation, Big O Notation, and today I'm going to be bringing you round 2 of my local tournament, the 3-round tournament that I played a few days ago, and I played using the Ultimate Towa deck that was suggested by one of my viewers for this 50 subscriber special. And so I hope you enjoy the gameplay. I'll be doing some commentary over it, just like with some of my other videos. Before we get into the gameplay, I am against my friend Son of Paragus, and he actually streams, so if you're interested in checking out some cool different games, he plays a massive variety of games. Recently I think he's been playing Valorant and Five Nights at Freddy's, which I've been really enjoying watching because he doesn't really like jump scares, so it's been quite fun to watch. But if you're looking for any kind of content like that, definitely check it out. I'll have the link to his streams in the description. And whilst we're on the topic of streams, I've also been streaming on Twitch recently, and I'll have the link to my stream in the description so you can interact with me live. I'll be doing some Dragon Ball stuff, I'll be doing some League of Legends, so you can check out both of those games, have me build some crazy decks, or play some stupid stuff on League, and that'll be great fun. So definitely join the streams if you're interested in interacting with me live. And you can also join the Big O Nation Discord server to stay updated with all different types of content that I'll be creating. I'll have the link to that down in the description below as well, along with a link to my Facebook page where I also post a bunch of different updates on my content. So now that we're done with all that, let's get right into the gameplay. As you can see, Son of Paragus, my friend Sam, he is playing Dark Broly, and in theory that should be a really tricky matchup for me because he can easily kill off my defensive cards like my Lord Slug engine. He can either warp all of the Lord Slug stuff or he can just attack over it, and because all of his battle cards will be 30k and my 9-drop Slug is only 25k, it will be quite tricky for me to combo out of it. And then I won't really get much use out of the Lord Slug engine basically, because I will be using so many cards to combo out still. And so what I'm thinking is I'll probably have to aggressively take quite a lot of damage in the early turns, because I don't want to be comboing out of his 30k swings because I'll lose a load of card advantage. So I'll just basically take as much damage as I can and try and kill him on the clapback on like turn 3 or turn 4 if I can survive for that long. And that's kind of my game plan going into this game. As you can see, my hand is looking pretty solid for this game. I have the Towa for turn 1, I have some blue energy, and I have already one Senzu Bean and the Majin Buu. So my hand is looking really nice for this game. Just a great setup because I have turn 1 Towa, and then I can also use the Dark Dragon Balls to search for a turn 2 play, and then turn 3 I can go up into the Majin Buu and do some stuff with Senzu Bean as well. So here he uses his leader effect, and he actually chooses not to take the life here. I'm not entirely sure why he did that. Maybe he thought that my deck was going to be quite aggressive, or maybe he honestly just forgot. I think this is one of his first games with the Dark Broly deck, so he's still learning how the deck plays and stuff. So that will probably have contributed to it. No, I think, yeah. So I think it's just because he's learning how to play the deck, or he thought that my deck was going to be quite aggressive. So here I attack his leader, and then he goes down to 7 life, and I'm just using the Towa to grab a Dark Dragon Balls and then searching out the 2-drop Lord Slug. I would have grabbed a 1-star ball, but I managed to get a copy of the 1-star ball out of my life, so I didn't think that I would need a second copy of the 1-star ball for this game. And I thought that if I did need a second copy, I would hopefully either draw into it or draw another Towa so that I could search it. And so I just grab my Lord Slug and pass, and here he charges a second energy, and then he uses his leader effect, and this time he opts to take a life. Luckily for me, last turn he didn't manage to get any of his 1-drops out. He didn't go into the 1-drop Broly or any of his 1-drop Towas, so that's really nice for me. And here he only managed to hit 2 30ks. Oh no, he hits 3 30ks, never mind, from his leader effect. So he's managed to get 6 in the drop already. So I'm a little bit worried about that because I know that if he doesn't have much to play this turn, then next turn is going to be really, really explosive for him. He's going to be able to bring out probably at least 2 Dark Brolys next turn, especially if he's able to awaken. So here, the main thing to pay attention to against Dark Broly is their life, because you want to be able, the most important thing to do against the Dark Broly deck is to pressure them before they awaken, to pressure them the turn before they awaken. So here I'm thinking he's on 6 life. I don't want to let him just awaken on his turn for free, so I don't want to take him down to 5 life. So I'm actually going to choose not to attack this turn, even though I will lose out on 1 draw from my leader. It's worth it because he loses out on a few more draws, because the main power and the main draw power of the Dark Broly deck is having the ability to awaken on your turn. And so if I can deny him that ability, and I can force him to awaken on my turn and pressure him down on my turn so that he has to awaken early, I will be in a very, very advantageous position. And that is why I choose not to attack and choose to leave him on 5 life for this turn, because I don't want to just give him the awaken for free. And here I'm at 6 life and I have my Lord Slug out, so I'm thinking he probably can't kill me here. Even if he were to have the Heartfelt Plea, he can't awaken or anything, so I'm going to be able to survive this turn and try and kill him on turn 3 basically. Or at least apply as much pressure as I can on turn 3, because then I want to force him to awaken, like I said before. So here he just swings down my leader and I want to take it, because I'm not even at 4 life yet, and I want to be able to awaken next turn if possible. Something that he could have done to prevent this line of play was to take the life on his first leader effect from last turn. From his first turn, sorry, not last turn. If he'd taken the life from his leader effect, then he would have been able to awaken this turn. And if he had done that, then I probably would have played my last turn a little bit differently and tried to apply a bit more pressure. So here he uses his Mechikabura, and he actually calls Lord Slug Xeno in the 9 cost, so that he knows that I won't be able to bring out the 9 drop off of my blocker here. And then he also uses the second effect of Mechikabura to grab his 7-star ball, and I really like having that utility in any Dark Dragon Ball deck, but also obviously Dark Broly is included in that. Being able to grab Dark Dragon Balls off of Mechikabura as a free +1 is just so nice. And I'm actually side decking, I think I was side decking 3 copies of Mechikabura for this tournament, because obviously this deck has 7 Dark Dragon Balls in it, so you can always guarantee having a search target, and Mechikabura is just such a strong card not to be side decking anyway. So here I'm thinking I'm just going to take all of the damage. He's not going to be able to kill me this turn. I want to just build up a massive hand and see if I can kill him next turn, or at least apply a lot of pressure so that he's forced to awaken on my turn. So I actually have a 13 card hand, but he has 5 life and 9 cards in hand, so I'm thinking I probably can't kill him this turn, but I have a lot of plays in my hand, so there's a couple of decision tree points that I have to make here. And the first thing that I'm thinking is I can use my Awaken to restand an energy even if I tap out, but I can't use Senzu Bean to restand energy if I do tap out, so I need to make sure I have energy up for Senzu Bean before I use it, obviously, but also I can completely tap out for before my Awaken, and then I can Awaken to untap the blue energy and then use Senzu Bean. So I am okay to tap out here, but there's so many different plays that it honestly becomes really overwhelming, and I take quite a long time to think over what I'm going to do here, because I have so much different options here. I will just skip forward just a little bit so that it doesn't take too long. So here what I end up doing is playing down the Majin Buu for 3 energy, and I do this because I know that I can Awaken and to get my energy back anyway, so playing this is absolutely fine, and the Majin Buu is just so strong that I want to be playing it all the time. I was considering using the Towa effect and only tapping 2 energy and then bringing out a card from my deck, but I realised that I wanted to use the 1-star ball to go up the Freezer chain this turn anyway. So I managed to get my Lord Slug out, and that clears his board because he has no Unison down, and that lets me play a copy of Surprise Attack Freezer. And then I awaken to untap my blue energy so that I have access to Senzu Bean this turn, and I managed to draw another Senzu Bean off of the Lord Slug effect, which is really, really amazing for me. So here I swing at his leader with the Surprise Attack Freezer because I think he's either going to take the damage and take a crit life or negate the attack or combo out, and he really wants to be going down to 4 life here, so swinging for a crit attack first is the best play because it will put him in a little bit of a trickier position because he wants to be going down to 4 life to get his awaken off. And so here I swing with my leader and he goes up to 20k because of the leader effect. And here I'm thinking I might as well just use my Senzu Beans here because I want to guarantee that I'll have the energy open, because otherwise he could negate the next 2 attacks and then I wouldn't be able to use Senzu Bean throughout the entire turn, which would really, really be bad for me. So he just combos out. Oh, he doesn't use a super combo yet, I don't think. But there he showed the super combo. He was considering using a super combo to get out. And here I just drop down my copy of Dark Dragon Balls. And I don't have very many good targets here. But what it does show me is that I do definitely have a copy of the Freezer in my deck. So I know that if I want to, I can go up the Freezer chain and bring out the Double Striker. But I believe what I end up doing is not doing that and using the Towa effect. So here I tap 2 and I discard the 1-star ball, and because I only run 2 copies of the 4-drop Janemba and 1 is in my energy, I know the only copy left is the one in my hand. So I bring out that one and then I opt to swing at his leader for 20k crit. And because he has no battle cards on board, I know that I'm getting the second effect of the Janemba, so I know that I'm going to be able to draw 1 and get my blue energy back, and that's why I tapped out for that play, because I know that I'm guaranteed getting the second effect for that. And that's just making use of my blue energy as efficiently as possible. And he power bursts the attack, so taking himself down to 2 life. And here I'm just trying to apply as much pressure as possible. Like I said before, against Dark Broly, the most important thing is to apply a huge amount of pressure on their awaken turn. And here he's trying to combo out because, like I said, Dark Broly really wants to awaken on their turn because it's how they gain a lot of their card advantage. And so he's just trying to combo out and trying to save his awaken for his next turn. So here, this Towa actually came in really nicely for this turn, and I think that this Towa is like best used on a kill turn to just bring out a Dark Broly. I managed to crit off my 3rd copy of Senzu Bean off of my life, which is a bit of a shame because having a 3rd copy of Senzu Bean would have been amazing for this turn. But I bring out the Hand Destruction Dark Broly because I'm looking to try and kill him this turn, try and apply a bunch of pressure, and he doesn't have any battle cards on board, so the other copy of the Dark Broly wouldn't be any use to me. And so I just want to force him to lose some cards in hand, and so he warps out. I warp out a Dark Broly from his drop area, and I also get to warp out a card from his hand, and he chooses to warp this Towa. And so I swing at his leader with the Dark Broly, and I'm thinking this is 30k, he's either going to be losing a lot of cards in hand or he's going to have to take this damage, and I still have my 6-drop Janemba in hand and my Majin Buu attack, so I still have quite a lot of pressure to apply to him. But what I didn't realise is that he managed to have all 4 super combos in his hand along with the 2 negates, so he's actually got quite a lot of combo power here. And he still hasn't used his awaken, so he can still draw 2. So he's effectively got 12 cards in hand right now because he can choose to awaken at any time he wants here. So here I just evolve on top of my Janemba to go into my 6-drop, and that lets me draw 2, which is nice, just giving me some more combo power for the turn. So I swing at his leader, and here I'm thinking if I can draw into Cell Xeno, or I can draw into another copy of 1-star ball, I can go up the Freezer chain, or I can drop Cell Xeno and try and kill him. So that's why I'm super comboing, and I'm super comboing on this attack because obviously it's a critical attack, so if this attack goes through, he's going to be losing a card. Unluckily enough for me, I managed to draw another copy of the Dark Dragon Balls, and because I can only cast I can only cast one copy of Dark Dragon Balls per turn, it's completely useless to me. And this was probably one of the worst top decks in the deck, because almost the rest of the deck is at least a 5k combo. So this was a really bad draw for me. But I'm swinging for 35k crit, and this is where he chooses to awaken, which is fair enough. I think I would have probably chosen to awaken either on this attack or on the Dark Broly attack. But he chooses to awaken on this attack, which some could say is a little bit greedy of him to be conserving that awaken and wasting so much combo power earlier on in the turn. But for a Dark, I've played Dark Broly a little bit myself, and I definitely understand why he did that, because it's so detrimental to awaken on your turn, because that's how you gain so much of your card advantage. And I know I'm repeating that a lot this game, but it's so important to understand when playing against Dark Broly, because that is how you beat them basically. And here I'm doing a bit of maths, and I'm thinking he has 7 cards in hand. He's used all 4 super combos, so the most combo power he can have is if all of his hand is 5k combos. And so I'm thinking, okay, 5 times 7, that makes 35k in combo power, plus the 15k from his leader makes 50k, so the most that he's going to be able to combo up to is 50k. So I'm thinking, I want to make sure that my Majin Buu can combo up to 50k to match his power, so that if this attack goes through, I'm going to definitely be able to kill him. So I count the cards in my hand, and I keep back enough combo power so that my Majin Buu can go up to exactly 50k. As you can see here, I have 5 5k combos in my hand, which is 25k power, plus the Towa combo on my board will be 30k power, plus the 20k from the Majin Buu will be 50k. And so that's why I combo 3 cards on this attack, because I want to combo everything except for this 50k power, because I want to be making sure that I can match his maximum output of combo power. And I know that if this attack goes through, I definitely win, and if he combos out, then he's going to have no cards in hand, or almost no cards in hand, and I'm going to have a huge advantage there. So here he combos out, and that leaves him with 1 card in hand, and so I'm able to attack with the Majin Buu. And here I'm considering comboing just in case I've missed something, but I decide against it. And then this is another reason why I left the Towa specifically back, so that I could use it as a last chance swing to attack for a total of, I think 29k was what I comboed up to. So that was the end of the first match, and I managed to win, and that really displays, I think, the explosiveness of this deck. I managed to take him down from, I believe, 11 cards in hand with 2 negates, 4 super combos, and his awaken available to him. I managed to kill him through all of that and 5 life on turn 3 only. So I think that really displays the power that this deck can do, and the explosiveness that this deck can have sometimes, especially on turn 3 and turn 4. And that was without even using my Cell Xeno secret run. So that was like a really good demonstration of how I built, or why I built this deck how I did, because I kind of had that sort of explosiveness play in mind when I was building the deck. And that was really what I was aiming to accomplish with this deck. And so I was very proud of being able to pull that off on that turn, especially against a bad matchup like Dark Broly. I really don't think Dark Broly is a good matchup for this deck at all. And so I was very proud at the time of being able to pull that off. So here he's able to go first again. And I'm thinking I'll just try and have a similar game plan to last game. And just trying to mulligan for some nice starting plays. So I keep my Towa and I keep the Senzu Bean, because worst case scenario I can charge the Senzu Bean and use it as a blue energy for my kill turn. And best case scenario I can draw into another blue card and charge that, and then save the Senzu Bean for my kill turn. So here my hand is looking again pretty solid. I have the Majin Buu for turn 3, I have the Lord Slug for a bit of defense, and I have Man on a Mission, which is just an amazing card in this deck. And I don't think I had it in on the deck profile that I did, but I added it in straight after doing the deck profile, because I realized that I didn't have any overrun cards in the deck, and that it was a really, really strong idea for the deck. And Man on a Mission has been really performing so amazingly, even though it's only a one-off. So here I drop my Towa, and I notice that I only have one copy of One Star Ball in my deck, so I know that I have two copies in the life, which is a real shame for me, because it will make it pretty tricky for me to draw into my One Star Balls, and One Star Ball is such a strong card in this deck. And here I use the Dark Dragon Balls, and I just grab a 6-cost Janemba, because I'm thinking if I can do something similar to last game, where I can turn 3 kill him, the 6-cost Janemba is going to be really, really valuable. And so here my hand is again looking really strong. I have 2 super combos in case he's trying to kill me early on. And I also have some really nice plays for turn 3, because I have the Majin Buu, I have the 6-drop Janemba, and I have a Senzu Bean, and I have Man on a Mission. The issue for me is going to be trying to make it to turn 3, because this game he's playing a little bit more aggressively. He's taking his life from his leader all the time, and so I know that he's going to be able to awaken before I can get to my turn 3. And luckily I managed to draw the Salzino off of life here, which again, I'm thinking if I can get to turn 3, this turn is just going to be so amazing, because it will be like the last game, except I'll be able to play Man on a Mission and Salzino as well. So it will be even more explosive than last game. And I have a second copy of the Tower just in case he kills off the first copy. So here he has his 1-drop Broly out from last turn, and he uses a 7-star ball, and here he goes into the 7-drop Dark Broly, which originally I found really weird, because it obviously doesn't do anything if you bring it out from the 7-star ball, but it telegraphs to me that he has Heartfelt Plea in his hand, and that he doesn't have another copy of the 7-drop in hand, so I know that he's going to be trying to kill me next turn, because he'll be able to awaken and he'll go up into Heartfelt Plea. And so I'm thinking he's going to really start applying some pressure. I need to be really careful, and I need to make sure that I have a lot of combo power in my hand for next turn, and I have some decent Lord Slug chains to set up. And here he drops another 1-drop Broly, and then drops another 7-star ball. So he manages to bring out 2 Dark Brolys this turn, which is really, really scary, because it takes me down to 4 life on turn 2, which is very bad for me. And so here I charge a copy of the Lord Slug, because I already have his second copy in hand, and it's going to be pretty unlikely that I make it to turn 4 at this rate, because even if I can deal with his board, he's going to be able to revive at least 1 copy of Dark Broly back because of the Dark Broly effects. And so here I'm thinking, I really don't know how I'm going to be able to deal with this, because I know he has Heartfelt Plea in hand. I know that he's going to be able to do a lot next turn. And I'm thinking, if I drop down, I can actually awaken this turn, so I'm able to drop down the Tower to grab the 1-star ball, to either use it as some combo power next turn, or to use it for my Freezer chain, because I have Surprise Attack Freezer in hand as well. And then I awaken to get my energy back, and that will allow me to play down the Lord Slug and have the energy open for the Lord Slug play as well, which is really nice for me. And here I just swing at his leader, because I want to get the draw from my leader, and he obviously takes the life. He wants to go down to 4 life if he can. And I just play down my Lord Slug and pass turn there. So here I'm thinking, hopefully he doesn't have the Mechikabura, and I can just sit back on my 9-drop Lord Slug this turn and be safe. And I also am thinking, if he swings with his leader, or he gets rid of his 6-drop Dark Broly, the one that warps battle cards from the board, I need to make sure that I'm blocking before he can do that. So here he actually plays down the Mechikabura. He had it, which was really, really unlucky for me. And then he can obviously use the second effect to grab another 7-star ball. And he declared 9-drop Lord Slug Xeno with this effect as well. And here he swings with his 7-drop, because obviously he wants to awaken pretty soon, and he wants to bring down Heartfelt Plea to threaten a 30k triple strike. And here I'm thinking, I'm just going to take the life. I don't want to combo out this early on, and I want to I'm probably going to choose to crit the life from the offering of the Heartfelt Plea. And here he uses his leader effect to send cards from the deck to the drop, and I believe he only hit 2 cards, which was nice for me, but he didn't choose to take the life even though he's trying to kill me this turn, which I found a little bit strange, and I think that that could have been a slight misplay on his part. I think that taking the life would have been a little bit better because he knows he's going to be killing or trying to kill me this turn. And so here he activates Awaken and drops Heartfelt Plea, and I choose to crit a life from the offering because I'm going to have to combo out of the Triple Striker anyway, and I don't want to give him more combo power in his hand. So here I'm thinking if I can save my blocker for the Heartfelt Plea, that would be great. But I'm also thinking if he swings with his Dark Broly, the Uncontrollable Berserker, and then swings with his leader, I need to make sure I'm blocking at least one of those attacks. So here I use Senzu Bean. I opt not to block this attack, and this was a slight misplay on my part. I think I ended up actually forgetting about the fact that he can use his leader effect to kill off his Dark Broly, and so I just didn't end up blocking any of the attacks with my Lord Slug, and that ends up meaning that he can then warp my Lord Slug later in the turn. And so this is a slight misplay on my part, and I really should have blocked this attack because it would have saved me so much combo power in my hand. And here he swings with leader, which, like I said before, it means that he's going to be using his leader effect to kill off his 6-drop. And I actually thought about this play really early on in the turn, and I was like, I need to make sure I'm watching out for this play. And then I completely forgot it as soon as the Heartfelt Plea came down. So that was a really big misplay on my part. I should have just blocked one of the attacks, and I shouldn't have been so greedy with my Lord Slug. And also I should have used Senzu Bean much earlier in the turn, because I wasted a card with combo power on the last attack, on the 30k attack, and that actually almost ends up really mattering this game. So I used Senzu Bean on the leader attack, which I should have used on the Dark Broly attack earlier, because it would have saved me a card and combo power, and I really underestimated how much Dark Broly can put on the aggression and pressure me this turn. So that was a really big underestimation on my part, and I should have definitely been paying attention to that a little bit more. I haven't played a huge amount against Dark Broly's where they've been able to go this aggressive. So here he's able to warp, he puts back 3 for his leader effect and draws another card, and here I'm thinking, okay, I only have to combo out of his Heartfelt Plea attack, and then I'm probably safe, because the other 2 cards on his board do not match up to the power of my leader because of the 2 Senzu Beans, and he doesn't have very many cards left in the drop. But here he has another 1-drop Broly and another 7-star ball, so I believe he's been through 3 copies of each of those this game, so that's really bad for me, because now he's going to be able to bring out his other Dark Broly, and that warps a card from my hand. He tried to warp the Dark Dragon Balls from the drop, but his Dark Broly can only warp battle cards, so I just make sure that that's correct. Honestly, it really doesn't matter against this Ultimate Deck Towa what cards are in the drop area, because there's not really anything that manipulates the drop area other than some of the Xeno characters being able to grab back your 1-star ball. So here he swings with his second Dark Broly, and here I'm thinking, okay, I'm in a bit of a bad situation here, because he can probably bring out his other Dark Broly if he has it, and he does have it, so he uses his leader effect to just drop that to the drop area. And although I'm on 10 cards in hand and he's on 4, he's going to have a lot of big attacks this turn, and I really am in a bad situation. And he hasn't even overwhelmed, so if he has an overwhelm card in his hand, then I'm going to be in an even worse situation here. So here he swings with his Heartfelt Plea, and he super combos in, and even though I think I had 2 super combos in hand this game, which was really convenient for me, but it's still really bad for him to have 1 super combo. And he also has a copy of the Gravy, which means that he's able to put more cards back in the drop area, which again sucks for me, because he's able to bring out his Dark Broly 6-drop again, and he's just full comboing in, and I believe that is a total combo power of 65k. So here I'm thinking I can definitely out-combo this, but I'm a bit worried because he's going to have another Dark Broly to come out, and that's going to be even more combo power that I have to use. and my leader's on 25k base, luckily, because of the Senzu beans, but like I said before, I should have used the effect of Senzu bean a lot earlier in the turn because I wasted 5k combo effectively. And also something that I forgot during the game, and something that I also forgot just now during the commentary, is when he warped my Lord Slug Xeno, the 2-drop, from his Dark Broly, I should have gotten a draw because of my leader effect, and I completely forgot that. I only remembered at the start of my next turn, and even though the leader effect is mandatory, you have to draw a card. It felt a bit cheap to just be like, hey, I had to draw a card earlier. I need to draw a card. It's mandatory. I felt like it didn't really. I didn't really want to do that because it felt a bit kind of cheap, even though it technically had to happen. It felt a bit cheap. And so here, because of a couple of my misplays this turn, like I went over before, I have to combo my entire hand out to stop his attacks, and I only just survive. If he'd had 5k more combo power, I would have lost the game. And so I'm definitely bearing in mind that that I misplayed quite a few times during this turn at least, because there were a couple of times where I could have saved just 1 or 2 5k combos that would have made this turn a lot less risky. And so here I draw Towa, and I know that I don't have any 1-star balls left, so I know that I can just charge her, and it's completely useless to have her anyway. And here I'm just going for a Hail Mary. I'm thinking I need to grab my Majin Buu off of his Dark Dragon Balls or I lose the game, and so I managed to see it. But what I should have done is I should have attacked with the leader first, because it gives you a slightly higher chance of seeing the Majin Buu if you attack with the leader first to get the draw and then to check the top 7. So that was another minor misplay on my part. It doesn't end up mattering, luckily, because I saw the Majin Buu off the Dark Dragon Balls, but it's just something to bear in mind for my next games. And here I tap 3 for the Majin Buu. He uses his leader effect to stop the leader attack, I believe. And here I'm just checking the top 7 for my Majin Buu effect, and I have a lot of options. I hit some really strong cards here. And the strongest card to hit off of the Majin Buu is obviously the Majin Buu Royal Absorption, which I luckily hit off of this effect. So I swing at his leader for 25k double strike, and I'm thinking he's probably going to be able to out-combo this, but I'll combo up to 30k. And luckily for me, he doesn't have the combo power to out-combo the 30k double strike, so I just about won that game as well. Which, again, I think that game was partly luck-based, because, like I mentioned before, I made a couple of misplays, like 2 or 3 misplays during his attacks, which could have saved me quite a few cards in my hand. And if you saw my hand earlier, it was really explosive, so all I needed was like 2 or 3 cards and I would have been able to like guarantee kill him. So that was I think I played the second game a little bit more poorly than the first one. The first one I'm really happy with how I played it, and the deck worked really well. I had a really explosive turn. But in the second game, I feel like it was more down to luck for the reason that I won, because I hit the 2 Majin Buus off of the 2 top 7 searches. So that was slightly more lucky, but still a good game nonetheless. It was a really close game, especially the second one. But that best of 3 match was really fun. Shout out to Sam for playing really well and for a good game. Like I mentioned before, check out all the links in the description, especially Sam's streams and especially my streams. I've been regularly streaming, I think, from Monday to Thursday pretty consistently, just around 4 o'clock. So definitely stay tuned if you want to check out those. And if you want regular updates on when I'm live or when I'm posting videos, check out the Discord server, check out the Facebook page and all of that stuff. I'll have the links all in the description. If you haven't watched game 1 or round 1 of this local tournament, I'll have the link to that in the description as well, and I'll also have the deck profile in the description for this Towa deck. So check out all of those if you're interested. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you made it this far, definitely like and subscribe and all of that good stuff, and I hope you have a good day.